Ahoy VC, welcome to the Personal Oasis. This is the Blind Island, and we are going to be continuing the top 100 favorite albums of all time. Again, remember, this is my favorite albums, not necessarily the most artistic or what I think is the best. Now, everybody, I am going to be having a contest after the top 100 is over, but I am going to be announcing today what the parameters of that contest are and when the due date of the entries are due. So I will be posting that video shortly after I upload this one. So keep your eyes open for that. We have a couple of different prizes coming up, and thank you so very much to everyone who has been watching these videos, subscribing. 1 subscriber away from 100. Thank you again. Now let's get on to the countdown. At number 70, I have Pharoah Sanders' Karma. This record is one of transcendental beauty. It is the apex of spiritual jazz to me. I listen to this album and I am transported to worlds beyond this one. I am constantly drawn into the beauty of the main track on here, The Creator Has a Master Plan. It does remind me very much of how God probably sees the world and all of its beauty, chaos, destruction, creation. It is beautiful, horrific, terrifying, wondrous, and altogether gorgeous. I love this album. It always helps me get my mind in the right direction and understanding that God ultimately does have a plan for everything, even when we can't tell. And music is such a great way of being able to basically relay that information to us. And Pharoah Sanders' Karma really helps us to get in touch with that type of thinking. At number 69, I have Joan Grauer's Trio. This record was one of the only albums that Joanne Grauer ever came out with. She did release another album in the 70s, I think a couple actually, really changed her style. But to me, if you're a big fan of modal jazz in the vein of Bill Evans, then you're going to love this album. Her playing on here is deft, it's musical, and very elegant. Her fingers swiftly move across the keys and it transfixes you with its beauty. I wish that she would have gained a little bit more traction in the jazz world. It's an unfortunate circumstance that she never did, but I would say she is every bit the rival of Bill Evans as far as classical prowess. Just gorgeous, gorgeous music on here, and one that everyone should definitely give a listen to. It is available for streaming, and my understanding is that it can still be picked up on Discogs for around $25 to $30. It's not an incredibly difficult album to purchase, but it is becoming rare to come across. I would say that this is an artist that is definitely deserving to be rediscovered. At number 68, I have Marty Robbins' Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. There are a few albums that totally take me into the stories of their songs like this one does. Every single song on here is a little novel. It has characters, settings, stories that are relatable, people who are despicable, people who are wonderful, people who you have total heartbreak for, villains that you root for, and heroes that are destined to fail. It is one of those albums that takes you to a past life where people were roaming around the West and you could make your own destiny, and sometimes that destiny ended in tragedy, but it's still just transfixing. It's a wonderful, beautiful record and great classic country. If you're not a fan of country music, I highly suggest that you give this one a listen, because it will definitely show you the beauty there is to the songwriting craft of the storyteller. I believe that Marty Robbins also has a wonderful, warm quality to his voice that envelops the listener into the story that he is about to spin and places you right into the moment that he is talking about. I love this album, I think it's wonderful, and I think that you all should give it a listen to. At number 67, I have Grizzly Bear's Veckatimest. This is a double LP that came out in 2009 and really got me through college. It was in that same Baroque pop rock styling that was very popular at the time, that Sufjan Stevens had vanguarded in the mid-2000s, and that I think Grizzly Bear took to a completely different level. The music on here is gorgeous. So many different instruments are being implemented, and it's just one of those albums with so many swirling different ideas, and the lyrics cut you right to the bone. I first heard the songs that were on this record watching the movie Blue Valentine. I also have that soundtrack, and if you haven't watched that movie or listened to that soundtrack, it's another one that I highly recommend. It's heartbreaking and heart-wrenching. Definitely not one that I recommend for repeated viewing, but one everybody should watch at least once. Grizzly Bear completely captures what it's like to be in love and have it ripped away. I love songs like I Live With You, where you're basically having a narrator who is just talking about how they go through their daily lives, yet they don't really touch each other. It is one of those albums where it focuses on the minutia and makes it grand. I love this album. I think it is an absolute gem of the late 2000s and should be in everybody's collection. And at number 66, I have Big Star #1 record. Now, everyone who loves Tom Petty, Cheap Trick, Boston, all the big rock groups of the 70s who became known for their combinations of power pop and hard chugging rock and roll, they have Big Star to thank. And #1 record is just that. It's chock full of tunes that are phenomenal, hard hitting, just a pounding record, but it also has moments that really slow it down and become acoustic, contemplative, and introspective. I think that it's one of those albums that I could turn on and literally get any sense of emotion that there is possible. It makes me feel joy, heartbreak, wonder, anger. It's a great, great album, and one that is starting to get the recognition that it definitely deserves, but it could still be heard by many, many more people and deserves to be. So guys, what did you think of this latest installment? Did you enjoy the albums that were on here? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope that you have a great day on your own personal oasis. Cheers.